So Onyx made this post talking about how the development team is going to be dropping a huge GoliathNet testnet update this weekend. Now, nothing I say is financial advice, but what do they even mean by this? Now, I won't be able to know unless they do this, but also people like to tell me, well, the price is not doing good. Totally aware of that, but long story short, I haven't given up, and I'll talk about that more in depth later on. But I want to talk about this real quick because when people like to tell me, okay, Onyx, they're not really doing anything, they're boring, no one cares about it. Well, okay, the sentiment as of right now isn't doing the best, but I also like to remind myself that they haven't given up on, I guess, this dream, right? This sort of trying to launch the mainnet of their layer one blockchain because they're still working on the testnet. And sure, we haven't seen the mainnet, but I like the dedication, I like the perseverance, and I like just the energy that they're putting towards something like that. Because a lot of other projects out there during a time like this, that's it. They're done. They're out. They don't want to update anymore. That's it. But when I take a look at, for instance, something like Onyx, still keeping at it, the team still doing what they're doing, I just haven't given up. This is my perspective because the moment a project's team gives up, then I'm out. But I just haven't seen that. And what Onyx is experiencing as of right now when it comes to XCN, it's what a bunch of other projects are also experiencing. It's not only this. Bitcoin's having a pullback, Ethereum's also having a pullback. But I knew that when it comes to the space, it's not only just going to be smooth sailing. There's no way. So when I take a look at something like this, I kind of felt like, you know what? There's going to be ups and downs, but my timeline, my horizon was going to be years anyways. It wasn't going to be months. It wasn't going to be weeks. It wasn't going to be days. So heading into this space, I knew that, okay, there was going to be moments where things are not going to look good. But to me, I voluntarily decided to, right? Because I'm curious as to what could hypothetically happen during an altcoin season, which is why I haven't given up. Now, granted, when it comes to people saying, okay, if they launch their layer one blockchain's mainnet, who's going to care about that, especially at a time like this? Because keep in mind, they're planning to do it in Q1 of this year, right? The mainnet, supposedly. But in my perspective, even if they don't launch it at the perfect moment, so to speak, in terms of aligning it with the sentiment when it comes to altcoins, that's not going to be a concern for me because I feel like later on, it's going to reflect positively if, let's say, there is a recovery, right? If, let's say, the markets do start doing a lot better, I feel like they're going to take a look back at what a project did, usually. And if Onyx is able to actually deliver and actually do what they want to do, which is launch their mainnet of the layer one blockchain, I feel like that would actually reflect pretty positively towards it, maybe later on. So this is why I'm still a fan of what they're doing, even though the prices are not doing the best. Now, when it comes to the prices, though, people like to tell me, well, XCN as of right now is around 43 times lower than 25 cents. I'm totally aware of this situation. However, if my intent is the dollar cost average, seeing a moment like this is not going to be concerning to me because I am looking to dollar cost average, right? So if things are hypothetically lower and I can dollar cost average at a lower point, that's not going to be a concern for me. But then, of course, the prolonged timeline, the wait time, people like to complain about that. But I preemptively knew that I was going to have to wait for quite a while. Do I know the exact timeline I'm going to have to be waiting? Absolutely not. But I knew that I was going to have to be in this for maybe years. So this is why I haven't given up. What I do is I personally typically focus on the fundamentals and I just dollar cost average once a month. That's it. I'll wait and see what happens, but I like the fundamentals. And if I take a look at Onyx, something on its ecosystem called Chain, having an aspect of ISO 20022. And also on top of that, Chain, not too long ago, they rebranded to Onyx, right? So we have to consider Chain as an entity, the strides they've been making, and also Onyx to a certain extent because they did the testnet of their layer one blockchain and they're looking to do the mainnet of it this year. It's just pretty difficult for me to give up on a project that's still doing, I guess, activity. This is my point of view. And I feel like as well, if let's say there is a moment in time in which the global trade and finance space within this space maybe has attention again, or maybe even hypothetically better, who knows? If let's say maybe that is the case, my kind of mindset is Onyx is the number 5 project as of right now within that space in terms of popularity. Is it possible for a number 5 project within a niche like that to randomly just lose attention if there is an altcoin season. I personally, hypothetically, highly doubt that because I just kind of feel like it's the number 5 project within this space as of right now in terms of global trade and finance. It's not number 20, not number 30, not number 40. It's currently the 5th ranked, currently. And the thing is, it's not like it's only the one experiencing this. Number 4, ZBCN is having a pullback as well. Number 3, XDC, that's having a pullback, right? We take a look at XLM, of course, that's also having a pullback. So it's not like it's only just XCN. But the thing is, it's sometimes a little bit exaggerated because it's like, oh wow, XCN, the pullback has been so extensive. Well, first of all, it's an altcoin. And also on top of that, it may not have the sort of stability, right, that something like an XLM or an XDC may have because it's just not that massive. But if I didn't like that, if I didn't want that anyways, I could have just easily not believed in this. Like, keep in mind, I'm voluntarily believing in Onyx, right? I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but I could easily just exit, but I just haven't done that because for me, it makes no sense for me to believe in projects when they're only doing good and then exiting every time it's not doing good. So what? I go up here, enter up here, and then suddenly leave when it's down here? How does that make sense for me? If I'm able to dollar cost average at a lower point, I'm not going to be necessarily complaining if I still like the fundamentals. When it comes to Onyx, I don't feel like anything bad fundamentally happened to it. I just feel like the space isn't doing the best overall. But this space, sometimes it's like a patience thing, in my perspective. If I don't want to be patient, if I don't want to care, I could just exit. But I'm choosing to voluntarily be patient and just wait. And that's what I'm going to do. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.